and I just thought I'd give you an update on the possible number of combinations. We're currently sat at 163,840,000, which is, yeah, that's pretty good so far. Next up on the to-do list is the item frame combination lock. So we need to make it so that our player has to get all of these item frames in the correct position to be able to move on to the next set of possible combinations. Now, I have not built one of these things in absolutely ages. Like, it has been forever. So hopefully I can just about remember how to do it. So from what I remember, it should be something that looks a little bit like this. So we have a repeater running out there. Oh, there will be a redstone torch. A redstone torch. I don't know. So, okay, here's my logic behind what I've just done right there. So the theory is that this is what controls how much signal strength is given out by the comparator. So right now, we have an item on the inside of this item frame. Oh, I've built it one block too far across, so we'll have to fix that up. But if we place the redstone torch on the inside there, right, so this redstone is activated, but it doesn't quite run into this block, which means that that is off, which means that the output is on. So that should be, that's correct. Right there, that is correct. And then if we do that, then the output is off. This might actually work. Hang on, so if we put like an item on the inside of this furnace, that will increase the signal strength of that one, which means that in default position, we don't get an output because this redstone torch is powering this redstone. Then in this position, we do get an output. Then in this position, we don't get an output. I've done it. Wow, that must have been in like a really, really deep part of my brain, and I've just somehow managed to work out how to do it. Literally just then. Right, we have got how many more to build? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more of those things to build, and then we will have a huge number of possible combinations for that one. So, to update you guys, all I've done is I've added in a few OR gates out the back right here, which essentially say if this one or this one is on, then the output will be on, which is a good way to work out whether or not you have the correct combination. And then I'm basically going to create a really large OR gate going all the way out the back right here, which says if this one or this one or this one or this one is on, then the output will be on, which means that all of our inputs, or these, have to be off for our output to be off, which means that we can then decide if all of the combinations are correct. So, once again, let's do a bit of an update to our mathematics. So I'm just quickly going to go to the calculator. So this will be, there's 8 possible positions for our thing, and there are 8 of those, which means that possible number of combinations is 2.748 times by 10 to the power of 15. So that is 2 with 15 zeros after it. That's pretty good. We're doing pretty well so far. Right, let's add in a few extra modules. What should come next? Maybe buttons. I think buttons could be quite a cool way to go. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys, I have never made a button combination lock before. I've never designed one myself. Which means that I could struggle with this one. I know it uses RS and all latch arrays. That's about as far as it goes for me. So, yeah. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see how this one pans out, I guess. So currently this is my theory, and I haven't tested this out, and I haven't watched any tutorials right here. We've got a chain of RS and all latches, and this first RS and all latch is locking this RS and all latch, which is locking this one, which is locking this one. Okay, so if we were to hit this button, yeah, nothing would happen to those, and if we were to hit this button, nothing would happen to those. So this is fully locked in, okay? But then if we get the correct one on this one right here, then obviously that will send the item up into this area right here, which will unlock this RS and all that, which means that we can get the next one correct, which means that we can get the next one correct, and then the next one correct, and then there we go. We have got ourselves an output. But then we have a full reset line if we get things wrong, which couldn't do it in that order. It would have to be in this order right here. But you guys get the idea. Now, I have no idea where to go from this point. Things are getting more confusing. I don't know what I'm doing. I do not know what I'm doing. I've connected in the buttons. I've tried my best to create some form of reset circuit. I might actually have to watch a bit of a tutorial for this one just to get a rough idea of what's going on. It's been ages since I've had to do that. Okay, I think I've come up with something that sort of works here. So if we were to hit this one, then that will activate that one, which means we've now moved on to the next section right here, which is good. But if we were to hit this one, then that would trigger the reset line, which would then send a pulse. Why? Send a pulse through this. Which that should actually be quite a fast pulse. Hold up a second. Oh my word, this is so confusing. That should be that. Why did I decide to do this? Oh my gosh. Now before someone says it down in the comment section, yes, I'm well aware that there are much smaller designs than this, but I want to do it myself. Simple as that. This is my first ever attempt, and it is enormous. I'm well aware of that. I've created a working circuit, so if we place these in order, as you can see, this one activates, then that one activates, and then that one activates, and then this one activates, meaning the whole system is now up and running. All of these comparators right here are switched off, which means that we have got the correct combination. But if we were to get any of these things wrong, so let's quickly just do reset right here. If we were to get any of these in the wrong order, so say for example we trigger this one first, you can see that that will send a reset signal through the signal line if we were to get the first one correct and then the second one correct, but then we were to miss one and get this, then as you can see everything resets. It works, it works. We've made ourselves a functioning system. But we now need to hook up the AND gate. I really can't work out how to do it because we need to take a redstone output from these. Yeah. From these. I don't know if I've given myself enough space. It is all done, and it is by far the biggest button combination lock that has ever existed, but I am chuffed to bits with it because it's my first ever one. We hit this button, and that should trigger the first one. Good, good, good. And then if we hit this button right here, that should trigger number 2. We hit this button right here, that should trigger number 3. And we hit this button right here, and we got ourselves a redstone output. So that was me getting the correct combination. But if we get the wrong combination, so I've just reset the circuit right there, and that should have reset everything. Hang on. Redstone input there. Oh, okay, there's no redstone up there. Right, let's try that again. So we hit this button right here, and that should reset everything. Yes, okay, that redstone output is turned off. So if we get the wrong order, so we hit this button right here, then obviously number 1 will turn off. But then say we skip this button and go straight to number 3. We got a reset. Good stuff. Right, now let's see if we just hit a random button. So we hit that button right there. Once again, we've got our first button correct, but then we hit this button over here. Yes, it resets. We have a fully functional button. The button combination lock that is enormous. It is monstrous. It's a horrible circuit. Oh, but I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. Right, let's move on from that because we want to do a little bit of item combinations right now. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% certain on the maths for this one right here, so you can let me know down in the comment section if I'm wrong. But I said that there's a 1 in 10 chance for the first button press, because it could be any of the buttons. Then there's a 1 in 9 chance for the next one, because you can't have the same button twice. And then 1 in 8 and 1 in 7, which means it's 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. And then I've multiplied that by all of the other combinations that we have right here, which gives us 1.385 times by 10 to the power of 19. Which is a pretty monstrous number. I mean, that is a really, really big number. But things are going to start to get really ridiculous now because we are going to start using items. And items have a huge number of possible combinations that they can be because, of course, you can rename items. Which, yeah, definitely adds gazillions. Just a stupid number. And we're going to have 4 of these little things at the end right here, all hooked into RS NOR latches to create what is essentially going to be an item combination lock. Sounds pretty good. Now this one is actually going to be just ridiculously simple. What I thought we could do is we're going to add in a bunch of these little item filters right here. And then up at the top we've got a button that you have to press, and that powers all of this redstone, which sends all of the items into these hoppers all at once. Then we're going to have an AND gate out the back right here, which will obviously activate if all of the items are correct, which will then go into an RS NOR latch, which will reset, causing us to have our redstone output if we get the correct combination. I mean, this one is probably the simplest circuit we've done, bar the lever combination lock, and it has by far the most combinations. So I guess, you know, sometimes it's not the complicated things like this that actually work, because that probably has the least number of combinations out of this entire circuit. So right now all of our item hoppers are rigged up to receive an iron block, and inside each one of our droppers we have got 1 iron block, and that should mean that when we hit this button, that redstone turns off very briefly, which will activate our RS NOR latch, giving us a redstone output, and then we have this button over here to do the reset circuit. That is awesome. Absolutely perfect, and is working wonderfully. Now, in terms of the maths, this is where things begin to get a little bit shaky, because I did some Googling and I was looking up how many items there were in Minecraft, and it seems like people don't know. The last post was in 2013, and there were 296 different items that will stack. So with that maths, we did 296 to the power of 4 multiplied by all of the other bits and pieces that we have in here, and right now we have 1.063 times by 10 to the power of 29. So that's 1 with 30 zeros, or 29 zeros after it, which is obviously an insane number. Now I would say it's more likely that we probably have about 400, maybe even 450 items in Minecraft now that will stack. I mean, we have all the different colours of concrete, of all this stuff. We've got purple now, all that. You know what? We'll say that it's 410 to the power of 4. Then that will give us 3.9 times by 10 to the power of 29, which is obviously a really large number. But where things begin to get a little bit silly is where you take into account how many different names you can give to the items. I'm quickly going to do some maths. So from what I can work out, so I've put 410 times by 90 to the power of 30. Now that is because there are 90 different characters that you can use on the inside of an anvil, and there are 30 different character slots, and then all of that has been multiplied to the power of 4, which I imagine is going to be quite a large number. Yep, oh my word, that's huge. 1.264174 times by 10 to the power of 264, which is, yeah, that's enormous. Really big. I can't even put that number into context, really. I seriously can't. But that's an enormous number. That's a 1 with 264 zeros after it. So I'm going to hook up all of these different combination locks that we have right here. I'm going to hook all of these in together, and we are going to run them into some form of door. Now I must admit, I am a little bit worried about this tester right here, because there are plenty of things that could potentially go wrong. But anyway, we have got the lever combination lock, that is combination number 1. Then we have got the color combination lock, which that one should be correct. This one should now be correct. This one should now be correct. And this one should now be correct. If you take a look out the back, yes, everything is looking good. Fantastic. Now these ones, they all need to be in this position right there, which means that this one here should be looking a little bit like that. Awesome. This is working. Right, okay, moving on. We've got that one. And then this one right here. And then this one right here. And then this one right here. Good. Okay, that's given us a redstone output. Fantastic. Then for the final combination lock, which is the item combination lock, I've had to place in slabs on the top because they were getting bud powered. We should hit this button right here. What? Why does that not work? Are you serious? You know what? I'm gonna do something slightly different. Right, let's quickly just... because what's happening is that for some reason, none of those droppers want to fire because they're being powered from above. So if we do something a little bit like this, then that should trigger the system, which has opened our door. Hey, fantastic. We have got ourselves a working system right there. Unfortunately, for some reason, just the redstone wasn't working for that. I'm guessing it probably has something to do with the bud powering of... What? It worked that time? Oh, for goodness sake. I give up with droppers. I mean, seriously. Look, they seem to just be so strange with the way that they operate. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, our combination lock is in fact working, as you just saw right there. This thing is functioning like a champion. We have got gazillions upon trillions upon brillions of combinations, which is exactly what I wanted to do at the start of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.